Welcome back to the Podcast. As always, joined by my co-host Zane. So, Zane, what's your initial thoughts on the Super Bowl this year?
I thought it turned into a classic this year. It was a very clean game, refing wise. I didn't see anything, anybody really complain about. It was definitely a great game. What was your initial thoughts?
Yeah, it was a great game. The Chiefs have solidified their dynasty now. Proved that they'll go down as the next Patriots team, honestly. And Patrick Mahomes, this is a legacy game for him. And it really helped his legacy. Yeah. That
For
was
sure,
my
I agree.
initial thoughts.
Yeah, I agree with that. My take last week about them not being a dynasty yet. I guess they heard me and had to prove me wrong. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, last week I would have called them a dynasty, even if they would have lost this game. Um, I don't know because they lost their best wide receiver 2 years ago, and now are going back to back. It's pretty incredible. It is pretty incredible. It just shows you how good their coaching is, their quarterback is, their defensive coordinator, Spagnuolo, whatever his name is.
Yeah, Steve Spagnuolo.
This was a legacy game for him. Also, this is like the first time a defensive coordinator has ever won 4 Super Bowls in a row, or not
Really?
in a row, but 4 Super Bowls ever in their span of being a defensive coordinator.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah,
Do you wanna deep dive in on the
yeah,
game
let's
now?
yeah, let's just jump right into the game. Yeah, you go first. Talk about
All
it.
right. Um, I have a lot more bad than good for the Niners. I have a little bit of good for them as well, and I have a lot more good for the Chiefs. But that's just because they won, and obviously there's less bad than there would be for the Niners. I'll jump into the Niners first. Some of the good things I did see. The three of the best players I saw on the field were Juwan Jennings. I think he could have won the MVP if the Niners had won.
For
Christian
sure, for
McCaffrey
sure.
was also there. I think both of them were kind of competing for that. They were probably the best two offensive players on the field for the Niners at least. And then on the defensive side of the ball, I thought Chase Young actually played a really good game. Um, he hasn't had a great year, and I don't know if I've said it on here or not, but I didn't. I thought he kind of played lazy this year, and he kind of proved me wrong this week. So I loved seeing that on the field. You have
Okay.
anything to say?
Yeah, I actually do. So, you think Chase Young was their best defensive player?
No, no, no. Sorry, I
Okay.
just thought he had a great week.
Okay. Yeah, I agree
Had a
with
great
that.
game.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
really did have a great game. He finally showed up. He finally did what the Niners traded him to do, which was get to the quarterback. And he got to Patrick Mahomes several times, even with the
he
four
did.
man rush they did. I liked the 4 man rush in the first 3 quarters. I really, really did. I liked how they played man a lot this game, and I really wanted them going into this game to play man, and they did. But going into the fourth quarter, they really didn't adjust because you can't
Yeah,
rush the same 4 guys over and over and over again.
they ran the
They're
same thing.
yeah, they're eventually gonna get tired, and they did in the fourth quarter. And I really think that's what cost them. They never really blitzed. They only blitzed on 7 of Patrick Mahomes' dropbacks that this game, compared to the Chiefs, which they blitzed. Wait, where is the stat? The Chiefs blitzed Brock Purdy 19 times
That's
on it.
insane.
Yeah, compared to
Spagnola though, he was a genius this
he
this
is.
whole season.
He had an incredible game plan, but I think I'm not the biggest fan of the 49ers uh, defensive coordinator.
Steve
Uh,
Wilkes.
yeah, he
Yeah,
just he doesn't have a really good. I didn't like the game plan in the second half as much as the
I
first
really
half.
didn't either. I feel like they were playing prevent, when they didn't need to play prevent, and then they played man when they didn't need to play man. He felt like very switched up from what I
Yeah,
saw. Like in the fourth quarter late, I was very shocked when they went to man coverage when all they had to do was just prevent them from getting down the field, and they just weren't doing it.
yeah. I mean, I didn't hate them playing man. I think they were just playing man, not close enough. They were giving the receivers like 5-7 yards to come back, like a little comeback route, like a 5 yard comeback route. Like on 3rd and 18, they got like 9 yards off a little comeback route because they were playing so
So
far
far off.
back.
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
playing so far off. I feel like they should have played not maybe more zone, but like definitely later in the game played some zone.
yeah, and it really gave me flashbacks to the Bills game and
For
uh
sure.
the playoffs, like 2021, I think it was.
I
It,
that sounds about right.
yeah, gave me flashbacks to that. I'd be very sad to be a Bills fan if I was watching the Super Bowl.
I will say this: I think losing Greenlaw to that Achilles tear was monument. Like it was devastating for that
Dude,
Niners defense.
I agree. I was
I
willing to
think if
give.
you had Travis, like Travis hadn't done anything until Greenlaw went out. Like if you
Yeah,
look at the numbers, he had not really been involved in the game at all. And the minute Greenlaw goes down, Travis gets the ball. I think part of that, and I apologize for this little rant about turf, but turf is an issue. It needs to be addressed. The NFL needs to start looking into this more and realize what the problem is. He was jumping on the sideline and he tears his ACL. You don't see that on grass. You don't see it on grass. So I just think that needs to be addressed.
yeah. I don't think we'll ever get turf or just like normal grass stadiums because it's harder to keep care of, as well as they're building a lot of arena-based stadiums now.
There. I mean, but they're all multi-billionaires. You think they'd have the money to do it?
Well, they want to save money, even though they're
That's
worth like $7 billion. They still want to save that 100 million.
true. For sure.
Um,
Uh,
but losing Greenlaw was a big loss, as well as the next play they targeted Kelsey in that side of the field right after he got injured.
yes. You can definitely tell they saw that he went down and they immediately just attacked it, and it worked. And I'll give Andy Reid that he coached phenomenally as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
and as well as the Chiefs' offense played really good. It didn't like in the first
it
half.
shocked
It
me. It shocked
wasn't.
me.
Yeah, in the first half, it was bad. It was simply bad. It wasn't all that great. They had some good moments, but nothing crazy. But in the second half, this is what makes the Chiefs so good. They can adjust when they hit adversity, and it is incredible to watch. Because Travis Kelsey only had one target in the first half. He ended up with 10 targets, 9 catches,
Yeah.
and
So he had like 8 in like the second half.
yeah, and the Chiefs receivers got a lot of separation. Their top receiver had 4.1 yards of separation.
That's
Guess who
awesome.
that receiver was?
Was it Rasheed Rice or McCall Hardman?
It was neither. It
Really?
was MVS.
It was MVS. Wow.
Yes,
I will say this. I did say he needed to show up. He did, but McCall Hardman showed up when it mattered most.
100%. Talking about the separation stats between the Chiefs and 49ers is massive. The Chiefs' top four players. I saw this on NFL uh, Next Gen Stats because I was
Yeah.
curious of the separation, and they had like a minimum of uh, 5 catches. So this isn't all the guys, so it could be more for other people. But the top four for the Chiefs: MVS 4.1, Justin Watson 3.8, Rasheed Rice 3.5, Travis Kelsey 3.4. That's pretty darn good.
That
And
is
the
pretty good.
49ers, Brandon Ayuk 2.7, Juwan Jennings 2.6, Debo Samuel 2. That that is just crazy.
That's a wild difference. I mean,
Yeah,
there's also the big corner difference between the two teams, though.
100%, 100%. Um, and the Chiefs' secondary showed up. It was
They
incredible to
did.
watch. Snead, McDuffie. McDuffie was the star of this game,
He was.
110%. Chris Jones obviously was an incredible pass rusher. Um, but
He dominated the entire game.
yeah,
Yeah, I
but
will say this
McDuffie
about the
just
Niners line: Trent Williams had probably his worst game of the year. I don't know if it was the lights or something. Something got to him because this was like this is the worst I've seen him all year. I was shocked.
yeah. And those two big flags too really cost
Oh
him.
yes, no, he was just not having a good day.
And talking about costing, the 49ers costed a lot of big opportunities.
They
They
did.
really hurt themselves in this game. The Christian
They
McCaffrey fumble at the beginning of the
yes,
game.
which they actually did well against that. Did the Chiefs didn't score off that, did they?
No,
No,
it was a
no, they didn't.
quick 3 and out. Yeah,
Yeah, so the defense there held up perfectly. It was the offense that was the issue again, um, for this team.
yeah. But the 49ers just, yeah, they hurt themselves a lot. The
They couldn't
botch,
capitalize.
yeah, they couldn't. Any time the Chiefs would make a mistake, um, the
I think they had 3
49ers,
turnovers,
I think they
right?
had 3 turnovers. Yeah, I'm pretty
Mahomes
sure.
had one. Mahomes had an interception, and then I think Pacheco fumbled twice.
No,
If I'm not- No, no. Well, he fumbled 3 times, but only I think one turned over.
yeah,
That's right.
uh,
Yes.
yeah, um, yeah. He only had one fumble that
Okay.
really
Yeah.
costed him the game. Um, but like at the end of the first half, I really thought the 49ers were gonna be up by 17, or they should have been up by
They should
17.
have.
And it felt like it too because the 49ers were really dominating on the defensive side of the ball so heavily. Even though Patrick Mahomes and Brock Purdy had the same stats, um, the 49ers defense was so dominant in this game. Nick Bosa's pass win rate or pass rush win rate was 21.3. Eric
Wow.
Armstead 17.9%.
Was that
Javon
just first half?
Hargrave. No,
Or
that
just
was just in the whole game. This is whole game
okay.
stats. Javon Hargrave 17.1, Chase Young 15.8%. Those are some great numbers from the
They
four
are.
guys they were rushing the whole game. And the Chiefs adjusted, and that's again what makes the Chiefs so good. They can adjust, and the 49ers just couldn't
They
adjust.
they like flattened out, which I did say was going to be an issue. Is if they flattened out, the Chiefs were going to win that game or this game, and they did. There's bad play calling on like key downs. I feel like they were too passive. They weren't aggressive enough at times. They didn't. I didn't feel like they used McCaffrey when they should have. Um, I didn't feel like he was involved enough in the game. He's probably their best player on offense, and they just didn't use him enough.
Yeah, talking about the 49ers offense, I kind of had a problem with their offense. And I agree with what you just said, but I feel like when they threw the ball, they would throw it like 3 straight times. And then whenever they would run the ball, they would run it 3 straight times.
Yes, it was so predictable.
It was
I
so,
do
it
remember
was
we were when I was watching the game with a couple of my buddies. We were calling plays a couple of the times. It was bad.
it was like, and then they would throw it and then do play action. And it's like, okay, I understand, but you just threw 7 times before that. Play action isn't really
Purdy
gonna work.
threw it 38 times,
Yeah, yeah,
which
and
I don't. Have we seen that this year from Purdy? I feel like that was high for him.
I don't know. Hold on. Let me look at Brock Purdy's stats because
Yes, I believe he's definitely thrown a lot. I feel like that's a high target amount or attempt amount for him this year. It actually okay. So in the playoffs, it was pretty much um, besides the Green Bay game. That's the only other game that he was close, which he had 39 attempts. He had 31 in Detroit, and then during the regular season, he only went over 30 one, two, three times. So
wow.
it was definitely a big difference from how it was during the regular season, which it
Uh,
worked up until this point. So I'll give them that.
yeah. In the second half, they just got like scared and started throwing the ball all the time,
Which
and
McCaffrey
stopped
worked.
using Christian McCaffrey.
He worked so well. He continued working the entire game.
Yeah, Christian
Ugh,
McCaffrey. Like,
I pretty missed some throws though. Like there was times where I'd see Debo underneath, and like I can think of the one play it was like second and 8, and he threw it to Ayuk to the corner, and like there were two guys in coverage on Ayuk when he had Debo just taking a slant underneath. That was wide open, which it's not like a huge deal, but third and short is different than third and long in every regard. And I feel like he messed that up several times throughout the game. And he did take accountability for it after the game, which I appreciate, but it definitely needed to be fixed a lot sooner. And it obviously did not win them the game. So
yeah. Uh, but the 49ers offensive line struggled in this game a
that is
lot.
true.
The blitz,
If
they
there
could
was
not
one,
handle the blitz.
did you see Ayuk? It was towards the end of the game. It might have been towards the end of the game where they were like they did an all-out blitz on Purdy and they just got all through, and you can just see Ayuk coming way open across like the end zone. He threw it. Who did he throw it to on that play? I
Are
don't
you
know where
thinking
he
about
threw
the
it to. He
Debo
threw it.
throw?
Yeah, it might have been the Debo throw, but he had Ayuk just wide open for a touchdown, but he couldn't get it there because the pass rush for the Chiefs was just
Yeah,
so good this week.
yeah, and the pass, like, great pass rush by the Chiefs. Um, but Brock Purdy played as good as he could have, in my opinion. Because we still got to remember, this man is the last pick in the NFL draft. He was supposed to be an absolute no one, and Brock Purdy, he made some good throws. There were a
He did have some
handful of
good throws.
throws, and this is his biggest game of his career. He's never been in a spotlight this big. Because last year he got injured in the NFC Championship game.
That is true.
And from what I remembered, he was playing pretty decent against the Eagles, and honestly, they
I
could
feel
have
like it would
beat
have been a
them.
lot closer game for sure. It
Yeah.
wouldn't have been the way it was. It would have put them in that game.
So this is the first time Brock Purdy's really played in a game this big, and I think he played pretty good. The Brock Purdy hate. I know you're not the biggest fan of Brock Purdy or of this game. He did sell a lot of. There were times where he was selling, but Patrick Mahomes. There were also times where Patrick
Yeah,
Mahomes was selling.
he had that pick, and I thought that was going to be a game changer, and then the Niners just didn't capitalize, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like y'all just got like your second turnover of the game within decent yardage, and you're not capitalizing." And it was bad.
Yeah,
Bad game plan by Shanahan, which you told me I needed to bring it up. I think Shanahan's a fraud. And I'm going to explain why he's a fraud. Who was the OC for the Falcons Patriots Super Bowl?
Kyle Shanahan.
Kyle Shanahan. Who was the head coach for the 2020 Super Bowl with the Niners and Chiefs?
Kyle
Kyle Shanahan.
Shanahan.
And then again, this time, Kyle Shanahan. And in every game, they had a commanding lead. And in every game, the play calling fizzled out and the other team came back. Every single time. I'm not blaming it all on him because he can't control everything. But it is a worth note that we talk like he's the best coach of all time. Or like one of the best coaches in the league at least. And he hasn't shown postseason that he can win a Super Bowl. Now I will give
Okay.
you this: Andy Reid was talked the same way in his early career. He didn't do much, but now look at him. He's awesome. So things change, and I'm going to give him
Okay.
time. But it's really worth noting after watching this Super Bowl.
Okay, I'm gonna name a few head coaches, and I'm gonna see if you'd rather have Kyle Shanahan or this
All right,
coach. All right, Sean McVay.
Sean McVay.
You'd rather have
That
Sean
one's
McVay?
close. That I won't lie. That one is super close. I lean McVay because he did win a Super Bowl as of recent, and he brought a team to the Super Bowl, and
Okay, but they
they
were
did make the
playing the
playoffs this year.
fraud Bengals, so
The Bengals weren't frauds; they were just no O line,
yeah.
like the Niners. But
All right,
you would keep naming.
yeah, Sean McDermott.
Oh, dude, Shanahan, easily Shanahan.
Okay. Nothing too crazy. Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh, Shanahan.
Okay, okay. Um, Pete Carroll,
Pete Carroll, Shanahan.
Mike Vrabel.
Shanahan. I'm not saying Shanahan's a bad coach, but we act like he's like top 3. I don't think he's top 3.
In the league,
Yes.
who are the two better coaches
Reed.
right now? Reed?
Reed for
Okay.
sure. I'd say McVay is still in my top 3, and I would say, hold on, I'm going through my coaches. Shoot, there's like 3 guys that are coming to mind, but none of them are like
Mike Tomlin?
sticking. No, definitely
No.
not. that's a good one though. He is up there.
He's top 5
Um,
for sure. Top
he
5, 10.
definitely top 7, I'd say.
Yeah, in the league for sure. Yeah.
Man, I'm trying to think of a third. There's somebody there that I had as like top 3.
Are you thinking about what's his
I feel like
name?
Stefanski's up there too,
Uh,
but
yeah.
Stefanski's up there. Like, there's
Matt
guys I'd
LaFleur.
swap around. Matt LaFleur, like definitely him. There's like Shanahan is in like a group that I would swap around with like 3 other coaches right now.
Okay, what about Mike McCarthy? Mike McCarthy gets all this hype. Where would you put Mike McCarthy at?
Bottom 20.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not a fan.
I'm not either.
But
He's
I
a
also
fraud.
he's not that good. I mean, his last game he coached, they got blown out by the Packers. Packers are going to be a young, great team, but my goodness, no, felt like a panic hire. Felt like a major panic hire by the Commanders.
By the Commanders.
Oh, wait, Mike McCarthy? Oh, I'm
Cowboys.
I'm thinking
You're
of someone
thinking
else.
about
Wow,
Dan Quinn. You're thinking about
I'm thinking
Dan
of Dan
Quinn.
Quinn. That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
McCarthy sucks though. He's
Yeah.
not. He needed to go this year. Shoot, they should have hired Belichick. The minute Belichick was free, I would have hired Belichick over McCarthy.
That would have been a crazy duo. Jerry Jones and Bill Belichick.
Apparently they're buddies.
Of course they are. Of course they are.
It does not surprise me.
Yeah. I mean, they're just both weird old people in my opinion. But yeah, I'm just looking at all the coaches right now, and there's a handful of great coaches in the league right now. Matt LaFleur, Mike Tomlin,
Mike
Nico
Tomlin,
Ryan,
Stefanski, Nico
Shane
Ryan, yes,
Steichen.
Gerard Mayo. I'm just kidding. He hasn't done anything yet.
Kevin O'Connell.
Kevin O'Connell's good.
You know who I think is a real fraud? Zach Taylor.
Zach Taylor. See,
Zach Taylor is
I'm not his
fraud.
biggest fan. I'm really not his biggest fan, but I don't hate him yet. Like, he did help the Bengals go to a Super Bowl, and like you could say the same for Shanahan, but that's close. I feel like it's the same almost.
Wait. Are you?
No. Sorry, I misphrased that. They're not
okay,
close.
I thought you were
coaches,
putting them on a scale.
No.
Together.
That's just a worthy thought. Like, Shanahan did lose 3 Super Bowls, and Zach Taylor did lose 1. But I'm bashing Shanahan more than okay.
Wait,
I need to back him a little more.
Zach
That,
Taylor has only been in one Super Bowl, correct?
well, yeah, he's only been in the. Wait, did he? Was he with the Rams that year? No, no, no. Duh. I'm dumb. That was the Super Bowl year, and he played them in the Super Bowl. That was dumb. But he was on their staff at one point.
Hold on, I'm
Yeah,
trying to look at. Yeah, he was the assistant wide receiver coach and then quarterbacks coach.
was he there for the other Super Bowl? That's what I was thinking of. The Rams Patriots year. Was he there?
2017, he was
That
there.
was not a good look year either. They only scored what, 3?
Yeah, but he was the assistant wide receiver coach, so nothing too crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'm looking at Zach Taylor, and this is very questionable because he went from the Rams quarterback coach to the Bengals head coaching job.
That happens. I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
that definitely does happen.
yeah, it definitely does happen, but it's just
You
so
usually see
odd.
them become an offensive coordinator first, but I don't think Zach Taylor does play calling. I don't think he did last year, at least. I think,
Yeah, I think he handed it down last year,
yeah, I think he really did.
but
I'm trying
they
to
lost
think.
their offensive coordinator this year.
The Titans, yeah, great hire,
Yeah, for
great hire.
sure.
Do you want to get back to the Super Bowl because that's
Yeah,
what we're gonna
back to
focus on
the
today?
Super Bowl. Yeah, we just talked about the different coaches. Um, where? Oh
Talk more
yeah,
about that next week.
yeah.
But yes,
Calling Kyle Shanahan a fraud.
he's a slight fraud. He is a slight fraud. He's
He
not on
definitely.
full fraud watch yet, but he is getting there.
Yeah, he definitely has to win. I still think he is one of the top coaches in the league.
I'd say top 5, but not top
he's
3.
he's changed the offensive side of the ball
That is true. But
so
has
much.
anybody from his tree won? Like, can you think about like the
McVay.
Shanahan tree? McVay? Okay. Yeah.
Hold
But
up.
I feel like McVay's his own tree now, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Fair enough. Hold up. I'm gonna look up Kyle
Because
Shanahan
has the
coaching
Shanahan tree
tree.
won?
Um, hum.
Okay, well, it's the Mike Shanahan tree. So I guess the Mike Shanahan tree definitely has some winners in it. Trying to think for. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the Mike Shanahan tree definitely has produced some winners. Kyle Shanahan, though, all time, he is 57-47 as a head coach.
Wait, 57?
He's 57-47 as a head coach.
Are you sure you're looking at Kyle Shanahan?
Yeah, I'm looking at Kyle Shanahan. He's 57, and this might be old. This was as of 2022. That is why.
Oh, okay. Because I'm looking right now and it's saying 72 and 55.
Yes, that. Oh, this was from October. That's
Oh,
weird.
that was like
That makes more sense.
like
He, yeah,
30
that
games
explains a lot.
behind. Um, but okay, Kyle Shanahan, he has some guys. He has
He,
uh
he, yeah. He did have to. I'll give him this. He's dealt with Jimmy G, so I'll give him that. And then Trey Lance, but then he got Brock Purdy, and Brock's not terrible.
okay, I
I
have a
think
serious
I think
question.
he's a beneficiary of the system, but that's
Okay, I
okay.
have a serious question. Who would you rather have? Tua, the fraudest quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion. I'm not the biggest fan of Tua. He's a bottom 15
You're
quarterback in
talking to a
this league.
biased person right now. By the way, he is a division rival anyway, so you'll know my answer immediately.
Or okay, I
You need something
understand
that's
that.
fair for
Um,
him.
okay, Brock Purdy or yeah, okay, let's play a little game. Brock Purdy or because this is still talking about the Super Bowl.
Fair,
So
because I did say I was. Yeah,
you
that's
you
fair.
were you were on Purdy fraud alert.
Yes, I do think he's still on fraud, but
Okay, are we talking about future or are we just talking about
like you want for your franchise.
yeah, or are we
Okay,
gonna
we
talk
can do
about
that. Yeah, let's do it that way.
right? Yeah,
I like
yeah,
that one.
okay. Okay. Um. And if okay, hold up. I gotta. Okay. Brock Purdy or Dak Prescott?
Ooh, that's tough. Oh, okay. Long term longevity,
Yes.
lean Brock. Right now, Brock, or I'd take Dak. Like right now, I'd take Dak, but longevity wise, because you're probably gonna get Purdy a lot longer, I'd take Purdy.
All right. Brock Purdy or Jalen Hurts? Because Jalen
Hurt.
Hurts kind of had a fraud season this year.
He did, but the offensive coordinator and poor Commanders, because they hired Brian Johnson, but that guy is awful, and I think that dealt with a lot of the issues with that Eagles team. I would take Jalen Hurts.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Brock Purdy or Justin Fields? Because
Oh,
Justin Fields is a
oh,
big
oh
controversy right
man.
now.
Okay, I'm taking Purdy. I'm taking Purdy because he's shown more. I think Fields has so much potential, but I'm taking Purdy because
Okay,
he succeeded.
okay, you did say this the other day to me that you think Justin Fields does have a lot of potential. Tell me what I would love to hear that. We're getting
Well,
towards the
okay,
NFL draft season, and I would love to know like why
I
because he
from what
hasn't
I saw of
shown
him in
anything.
college, it like he has these games where he just looks like he looks like a great quarterback. Like, have you seen the clip of him rolling out right, evading the pressure, and then throwing it deep to Robert Tunyon just for him to drop it, just immediately drop it? He's got guys like that he's throwing to. Like, you're not going to succeed with that. He's also had two bums as his offensive coordinators, and they have a bum that they just hired as offensive coordinator. But let me talk about why I think Fields can be really good. He's got the arm talent, he's got the legs, the IQ is there, the decision making is there. He just needs to let go of the ball sometimes, and he just needs a team that can actually play with him, that can block for 2 seconds at times or catch the football. We saw it in college. He looked like, my opinion, he was a top three pick. I thought he should have gone second that year. I was shocked when Zach. Well, I guess the Zach Wilson kind of hype brought up quickly, and I expected it, but I was still shocked that he didn't go second overall that year.
Okay, so you're talking about the drops, correct?
Yeah, I mean the drops are there, but like they're not insane. I don't think it's an insane number. It's just
Yeah,
in
because
key moments that you see.
the
Like there's some in key times where I'm just like, are you kidding me?
the Bears this season only had 19 drops.
Yeah, but there some of those were key drops, and some of the drops I don't think are counted. Like, do they count the Hail Mary drop from Mooney? Because that would have been so cool if Mooney had actually caught that ball. Um,
Also, you were talking about like how he showed so much potential in college.
he did,
Um, okay, Baker Mayfield showed so
he did.
much
Hey,
promise in
Baker was good
college.
this year. Baker was
Johnny
good this year. You
Johnny
can argue a
Manziel,
wall on that one.
Johnny
Johnny
Manziel.
Manziel, that's a different story because he didn't actually care for football.
Fair, fair enough. I'm trying to think of like some big frauds that like showed a lot
Showed
in
a lot in
college.
college, but then didn't. There's a couple. Um,
Blake Sims. No.
that's a fair one. No, you. He wasn't really. He didn't really show anything major in college, but he showed something at the. He showed a lot at the Senior Bowl, and he jumped up boards. Jamarcus Russell, he was one that showed a lot of talent at the Senior Bowl, and he jumped up a lot of boards. From what I read about, I can't really, but Fields showed a lot in college. Like I definitely think he could have, if he'd gone to a team that actually built around him, I think he'd be developing quite nicely right now.
All right.
I mean, people
Well,
say like
go
he's
ahead.
like
Go ahead.
your Lamar right now. Like I've heard that from comparison perspective. People go um, like who is it in this year's draft? They Jaden Daniels. They're like the ceiling's Lamar, the floor is Justin Fields. Like they'll do that, and like that's still not that bad a floor.
Yeah, yeah. I agreed that he had a really bad team around him, and the support, the coaching. Um, They finally got a wide receiver one, which I think DJ Moore
Good.
surpassed 1,000 yards.
He did. He had one game where he had like 200 and something yards. So I
Yeah, he
hope.
was on my fantasy team too, and I was so
I-
happy.
yeah, that was he. It was like
230.
something yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whew. Let me see. What did DJ end up with?
1,300 yards.
13. Yeah. Wow. That's wow.
Yeah. But we'll talk about Justin Fields on another episode.
Yeah.
Because
We'll
I would
review
love to get
for,
into
yes, I would
Justin
love to
Fields.
get into like the prospects and some quarterback move around, the quarterback carousel as they call it.
Yeah, and where could Justin Fields fit? He could be going to Pittsburgh. You never know.
Still with the Bears, I hope, but
Yeah.
that's just me.
All right. Back to the Super Bowl.
Yes, we keep getting off task or off regular
we,
scheduled program.
we do, but hey, we got to talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a good question. Do you think Patrick Mahomes deserved MVP, Super Bowl MVP?
Okay, I'm gonna give you a question in rebuttal. Who else would have gotten it?
Trent McDuffie.
Trent McDuffie. Okay,
Trent
that was
McDuffie. Cornerbacks don't get enough praise in the NFL. They
I feel
only
like
do it.
Chris Jones could have.
Okay, yes, but I feel like they only get praise whenever they have a big number beside that INT mark.
That's so true. They only get
Interceptions.
real praise.
That
Yeah,
Cowboys DB, what's his name? Darrell
Blaine.
Barnes,
Blaine.
Blaine. Yeah, hit that guy. He just had a Trevon Diggs type season.
He allowed like some crazy amount of yards this year too. He was up there.
Yeah,
but
it was just
corners don't
embarrassing.
get enough. Corners
But
just don't get enough praise.
But
They
you know how
should.
many yards Trent McDuffie had this game? He was
how many?
targeted 7 times. 7 times, which is a decent amount. He only allowed 9 yards. 9 yards.
That's wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Trent Mc,
I feel like
Yeah.
if he got an interception or two, he probably would have been in conversation. I think Mahomes kind of had it locked because it is Mahomes.
hey, do you hear that though?
Yeah.
INT. That's all you heard.
Uh-huh.
If he gotten an interception, which is fair,
Because he would have gotten
Interception.
recognition for it. It would have been a game-changing play kind of thing. It would have gotten a lot more recognition. I
Yeah,
feel like Chris Jones how did Chris Jones overall, like, what was his pressure rate and everything?
let me look it up because I think Chris
I
Jones.
feel like he was the closest next closest guy.
Yeah, let me find it. Chris Jones pressure rate.
He had 7 solo tackles.
He had
No,
6
That's the wrong thing.
pressures. He had
6
6
pressures?
pressures.
Did he have a
Yeah.
sack?
He did not.
He did not have a sack. Okay. Yeah, then I feel like it was Mahomes. Overall, I feel like he was probably the best player on that Chiefs team. I mean, he is the best player on that Chiefs team. But
Yeah, I saw
overall,
this.
think it would have to go to him.
Yeah, I understand. I saw this funny quote that was like from Theo Ash that was like Steelers fans would say Chris Jones did nothing because he didn't get a sack this game because of the whole defensive player.
Yeah, the Myles Garrett and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a funny quote that I thought I would add in. But yeah, not Nick Bosa. Chris Jones had a great game.
He did.
But I don't know. I feel like this year should have been Trent McDuffie because of Mahomes didn't do anything special. He
had 2 touchdowns, 2 touchdown throws.
He did, yes.
So he accounted for a lot of that offense. I think actually the next closest offensive player I think was closest to Mahomes was Butker, which I guess he's special teams. But offensive points wise, I think was Butker because he did break the record for longest kick in a Super Bowl.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, very true. Yeah, talking about Chris Jones. Chris Jones had 4 hurries. He had two hits, 0 sacks. Um, his win rate was 17.1%.
That's a good day because I definitely saw him. He showed up in big moments. From what I remember from the game, he showed up on third down a lot during the game.
Yeah, he showed up in the big moments when
Mhm.
the Chiefs needed a big stop. They got the big stop. Okay, let's say the 49ers would have won. Who do
Mhm.
you think the MVP should have been?
Hot take, Juwan Jennings. That's
Yeah,
my MVP. All
yeah.
right, he's my MVP for the day. He threw the touchdown to McCaffrey. He broke tackles for his touchdown during the game, and he had a couple big catches down the field as well. I think he should have been the guy. If not him, it was definitely going to McCaffrey. So it was one of the two guys, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Juwan Get Jennings had a great game.
I spam
He,
voted him on the NFL vote thing, but I was hoping they'd win so he'd get it.
yeah, I voted for. I think I voted for Jennings too. Actually,
Fair. You know he went to UT,
he did.
University. Yeah,
He actually
UTK,
threw
not
that Hail
UT.
Mary against Georgia. I
That's
don't know if
that's
you
that's
remember
another
that.
fun fact. There you go.
Yeah. Um. But yeah. I'm trying to look up who had the most targets for the 49ers.
I feel like Ayuk, Jennings, or CMC. It's definitely
Yeah.
one of the three of them. Debo, I got to talk about this. Debo talked trash all week long on Twitter and every other platform, and then he just ghosted the game. He didn't do anything. I
He
mean,
actually
there
got
were times where
injured.
yeah, he got injured, but then he came back in and didn't do anything. He like
Yeah.
I saw there were times where he was open underneath. Sure, like that's not on him. That was on Purdy. But like he wasn't involved in the game at all. And same with Kittle. I was shocked by both of them. They didn't show up this week, and I was just shocked.
Okay. They had Kittle blocking more often.
Hey, Kittle is an elite blocker,
He
though,
is. Kittle
and
is
they
an
needed him blocking
incredible
this week.
blocking. A
They
hundred
needed him.
percent. Yeah, 110%. Actually, okay, the leading target Debo had the most targets with 11, and the
He didn't
next
do
closest
anything.
was he only had 3 receptions.
11 targets. That's sad. He got
Dude,
locked down by McDuffie. I remember he got
yep. You know
pulled
who was
out.
on that man?
Yep,
Trent
McDuffie.
McDuffie. McDuffie
He
should have
also had a
won.
good week too, or a good game too. I will say.
Who?
Sneed, I mean,
Oh
he had
yeah,
like one bad hold on Jennings, I think, but like other than that, he had like a pretty solid day.
yeah, for
Most of
sure.
their
I
stuff was
think
in zone, so
yeah, Sneed. Yeah, he had a better game, or he had an all right game. He had 4 targeted, 2 receptions, and only 23 had 23 yards.
not bad at
He
all.
allowed 23 yards. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Um. Nick Bolton had a actually horrendous game. Looking at the
Yes,
numbers
he
right
did. I
now.
remember. I thought he was gonna get. Who threw a punch? Actually, was that Sneed?
No, it wasn't a punch. It was like a little shove towards the head
Yeah,
in
that's
front of
right.
it.
Yeah, it was like a quotations punch. I thought
Yeah,
he was gonna.
because
That was Sneed. I thought he was gonna get kicked out for that. Like I genuinely thought, they might just throw him out.
okay, but Kittle did tug on his jersey.
Oh no, yeah, like there was a tug there, but like the reaction should not have happened either. It's
Yeah,
whoever throws the second punch is the one that usually gets in trouble.
yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think if there anything
What's your
else
thoughts on
on
the overtime?
overtime. Oh, overtime. Oh my gosh,
What's your thoughts
yes.
on the new overtime?
I like it. I'm happy with it.
I do too. I think it should be. I hope they bring it to full college where it goes shootout back and forth no matter what. I think it worked well this time.
Yeah.
Because apparently there was a whole second period which I didn't even realize, and I thought they were about to run out of the clock and just the game would end. Like, do you remember that? How they just ran out the clock all the way down?
Yeah, I thought it was just gonna go into like a second quarter, and then the Chiefs would still have the ball right there.
See, I thought the game was going to end, but apparently there was that second quarter, like you mentioned, and I didn't know that, and I was like, "Uh oh." But I guess it
But
ended up working out,
yeah. But did you hear the report the 49ers players didn't know the overtime rules?
which also was on Shanahan. He did not communicate it with his team. They didn't game plan it with the team. He just did it himself.
Yeah, and the Chiefs had a game plan, talked about it several times throughout the week about the overtime rules.
That is completely on Shanahan. Masterclass by Andy Reid this week. But
Yeah. Yeah, whenever Andy Reid or whenever Alex Smith was on the Chiefs, I was like, oh, Andy Reid's not even that good, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. This was also whenever I was like 14 and I had not
fair,
that much football knowledge.
fair,
Um,
fair.
but yeah, I was just not a big fan of Andy Reid, and then he just proved himself
Three
that
Super
he
Bowl.
is, yeah,
He was always a good coach, but he never. It's he lost early in his career. He did. Was he the coach that year? Um, who
wait,
coached
what year?
when they played the Patriots in the early 2000s? Was he the coach that year?
Oh, the Eagles?
Yeah, when he was with the Eagles.
I think so. Yeah,
I feel like he was the head coach.
yeah,
So yeah,
because he,
when they played that in the Super Bowl, that was the only time he was that the only time he'd gone as a head coach. I feel like it was his first. Yeah, that was his first Super Bowl, and he got his first win with Mahomes.
yeah,
Just he's been a head coach longer than I thought he had been. Goodness,
yeah,
good
he's
job,
been a
Robbie.
head coach for like since I was like not
Since we were
even
born.
born. Yeah, he played with the Eagles. He's 65. He's older.
Yeah,
He's an
he,
old
I knew he
guy.
was older, but I didn't think. Wow, okay,
Yeah,
shows me what I need to learn.
yeah. He's been head coaching since 1999. Oh my gosh, he coached 13 years with the Eagles.
Yeah, that does sound about right now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, with Mike
Yep.
Vick. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which yeah, they didn't win. I do want to talk about
Hey,
this
well,
because it was the last play. I want to talk about it because they popped it up on a couple different sites, and Andy Reid was talking about it. It's kind of a fun play. It was Tiger 12, so they put McCole Hardman, two tight ends, and then a running back in. Tom and Jerry to the right, so they go out right. It's a one way play, so they just go out to the right, and Gun trips right, bunch F shuttle. Uh, then he goes in motion, and they just chucked it right to Hardman. It worked perfection. It was just a perfect, flawless play. It actually was super cool watching Andy Reid talk about it, just as a play in general. It's definitely cool seeing like a guy like that just talk about the plays he writes up.
um, yeah, it was great. Great play call there. As well as they really tricked the defense there
They
too.
did.
I remember.
Didn't they do that? It was like the I don't. It's not an arrow. I don't know if it's the arrow route that I'm thinking of, but they did it last year in the Super Bowl. They did it twice, didn't they? Against the Eagles, we just ran like a little inside and then back out
Yeah, they
concept.
did. Yeah.
It worked, and that's kind of what they did with Hardman right there. Um, and it worked again. It's a great play. It's great in Madden too, but it's a great play in everything.
Yeah, I am currently rewatching that playback, and they just tricked the whole offense. or the whole defense there. Yeah,
Yeah, so he went inside and then he ran back out into like he yes, okay, so it was an in out. Okay, cool.
yeah. Did you hear he like blacked out too?
Yeah, he didn't realize that the game was over. He thought they were still going.
Yeah,
Hey, I
which
have respect for that. That is the best mentality you can have.
which is fair because it is the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Um, but okay, I saw this thing on Instagram. It was like fact or fiction from Sports Illustrated. All right, is Travis Kelsey the greatest tight end of all time?
He is not.
I agree. That's false.
Gronk. It will always be Gronk. No
It,
one will ever pass Gronk. I am biased, but no one will ever pass Gronk. And
yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Gronk's personality, but gosh darn it, when he was on that field, he was the most dominant guy ever.
Okay, talking about Gronk, that Super Bowl commercial came out of nowhere. The fan duel, they
What
hyped it
the Kick of
up.
Destiny?
Yeah, they hyped it
Yeah,
up so
it just popped
much.
up randomly, and he missed again. How do you miss a 25-yarder?
Did you actually see they recorded it multiple times? Apparently.
Really?
Yeah,
That's sad. That is actually kind of sad.
yeah. They record. I don't know if they recorded it or practice, but they did it multiple times. And some guy had a theory on TikTok. He was like, "What if they re- sent out the like however many bets were the lowest on, like the lowest,
Yeah,
like
whichever side.
they yeah, they would put that on TV.
That
That's in it.
that would be crazy.
Yeah. Um,
That's definitely concerning.
but Kelsey going off on Andy Reid. We've been all over the place on this podcast, but it's the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's
We're
the
going
Super
all
Bowl.
over.
It was all over the place itself.
Yeah. But Travis Kelsey going out, going off on Andy Reid on the sideline. That was, if I was Andy Reid, I would be highly upset.
He was getting all upset because he got benched or something. I can't remember. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
Pacheco did fumble twice. He did have two fumble losses. Yes, because he had one in the red zone, and then he had one. Yes, okay, so he did have two fumble losses because he got upset twice. That's right.
yeah,
I didn't even. I forgot about that second one. It showed how little it mattered for the Niners.
yeah. The Niners hurt themselves ultimately. And I'm glad there wasn't any penalties because no matter what, even if the Chiefs did have a crazy penalty there at the end, 49ers had so many opportunities
They did.
to win this
This was
game.
a no excuse game. They had the turnover differential, and they lost.
Okay, and I think this could be one of the last years the 49ers get to the Super
I
Bowl,
feel like they
honestly.
might have next year as like, but then they're gonna have like cap space, like how the Saints have right now. They're in like that cap space, like dead land, and it's just that's probably what's gonna happen to the Niners. They might have to start losing players and like not like a full rebuild, but like a reload of like rookie contracts over
Yeah,
these like big contracts that they have because they're gonna have they paid Ayuk?
I don't know. That's what I'm looking up.
I don't think they have, and they're paying Debo, they're paying Bosa, they're paying Williams, they're
Do you
paying a
think they'll
lot of
bring?
people.
Do you think they'll bring back Chase Young?
I don't think so. I think Chase Young goes. I just don't see them bringing him back. He'll cost too much for the money wise. Unless I
Yeah,
mean,
and
if he takes a worse deal, sure he'll come back. But I don't think he's going to want to come back on like a kind of a week kind of deal.
um, yeah, they have a lot of old guys on the defensive side of the
They
ball
do.
that they could
They
be losing.
I'm trying to think of what they can do. Like I feel like this is one of their last few years, at least for right now. If they draft well, it'll change for sure. because they're either gonna have to pay Ayuk
Well,
and figure out the cap situation with that, or they're just gonna have to get rid of some contracts, or they're gonna have to let him go. That's
yeah,
rough.
Gibson's a free agent.
Wow.
Kinlaw is a free agent. Randy Gregory is a free agent. Chase
That one
Young's
I
a
knew.
free agent.
Yeah.
Uh,
Randy Gregory didn't really do much though. He hasn't done much this
yeah,
year. He was with the
Logan
Broncos early.
Ryan.
And he robbed the
Yeah,
Broncos of money.
yeah. Juwan Jennings, free
Oh
agent.
man, not the goat.
Dude, Chris Conley is a free agent
Oh,
too.
hey, he was a star on special teams.
Incredible on
He was
social team.
awesome on special teams.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought he was
Um,
about to get like not a strip fumble, but I guess like cause a fumble on that kick return that he did, where he like full on just threw the guy.
yeah, clotheslined him and
Yeah, basically like
everything.
clotheslined him. I was like, is that about to be a fumble?
Um, but yeah, the 49ers, I don't know. It's hard to say they'll be back because I feel like this year should have been their year. This was their year to win.
Yes, I don't think they go back. They are the top betting right now. Actually, they have the best odds, but that is definitely a trap. I don't think they come back.
Yeah, like which is crazy because
Chiefs are
like
more likely to come back for sure, but I don't think either come back. Um,
yeah,
do you want to do an early prediction? I know you did
uh,
on your, but do we want
yeah,
to do an
sure,
super early prediction pre
yeah.
everything?
Literally 1 year before the Super Bowl.
Yes, we are 1 year
Um,
before the next one.
yeah, next one. Yeah, you go first, or
All
let's
right,
do AFC team and then NFC team.
okay. AFC team. I'm trying to think of who I like. Um,
Hey, honestly, we could do like top three.
yeah, I like top three. Top three teams: Bengals, Chiefs, and oh, that's difficult for a third. No, Ravens. I don't think will make it back. Texans. Texans are my third.
Okay, the Bengals.
Yes.
Why?
Why? Joe Burrow healthy. Joe Burrow healthy is the guy that beats. He is Mahomes' kryptonite every time. So I think he beats Mahomes, and I think that's why they make it because nobody else stops Mahomes, and Burrow beats everybody else. So I think they go all the way for the AFC, and all they need is an offensive line, and I think they're in prime position to just grab it in the draft or free agency because they have money. They might lose T. Higgins, but that's replaceable, and actually they're losing Boyd too. Oh, okay, that's rough, but I think
Yeah,
they can fix it.
yeah, and you have to bet that Pat or Joe Burrow will stay healthy too.
True, but you got to do that for every team, you know.
But Joe Burrow's injury prone.
He's quotation injury prone. It's out of his control injuries.
Okay, but people say Lamar's injury prone.
I don't think
People,
Lamar's injury prone though. I'm not on that side, so
yeah, okay. I'm not either, but there are people that like,
I've heard that though. I agree with you.
yeah,
I will. So I'm gonna say it again. Bengals, Chiefs, Texans are my three predictions for the AFC. Well, who do you think? Who do you got?
okay, okay. I'm going with the Chiefs. You can't. It's the
It's hard
Chiefs
to
even
not.
said it.
It's hard to not put them.
Yeah, the Chiefs even said it themselves. Don't bet against us. Um, and I would love to say Bills, but I have rode with the Bills nearly every year. I like the Bills, and I've said the Bills. I said
I
the Bills this
hesitated.
year,
I almost did say the Bills, so I understand.
but they're on fraud alert as well.
Yes.
But I'm going to say some crazy teams. I'm going to say the Chargers.
See, I'm not a fan of that, but I want to know the reasoning behind it.
Okay, the reasoning behind it is they have to have a great draft, and I really think John Harbaugh will have, or not, Jim Harbaugh will have a fantastic draft. They need to get rid of Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. Just absolutely tank the wide receiver room.
See, but that's gonna
Um,
pull him. That's gonna completely pull him, though. You got to think about that. I mean, I agree with
but
Mike
then they're
Williams because
saving
he is
money.
due 31. He is due 31 million. Keenan Allen, I think, is fine.
Yeah, but they're
I don't think
saving
you can get
money.
rid of both.
Yeah, okay. Keep Keenan Allen, keep him as a veteran, and then draft a young guy.
I like
Um,
that. Like
but
neighbors,
yeah,
maybe
yeah, and
whoever's there.
I think the Chargers have the talent on the defensive side of the ball, and I think the Chargers
They are gonna have
will,
to. I've heard. Have you seen the rumors about Mack and Bosa though?
yeah, getting
Yeah,
traded. Yeah, um, I think Jim Harbaugh will come in there and just help this team tremendously.
I do agree.
Or this shows that Jim Harbaugh is a fraud. He's not. But and my third favorite team. They're one of the best teams in their division or in their conference or yeah, whatever. Or in their division.
Yes.
Um it is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay, that's bias. I'm calling some bias.
It's
There.
not biased. No.
That is total
Okay.
bias.
It's not biased. Okay. Hear me out. It's crazy. Teams are sleeping because last time we got back-to-back Super Bowl champions. Who won the next year's Super Bowl?
Was it y'all?
It was the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Seahawks, the youngest quarterback to ever do it. Bill Cowher's one of the last games, as I think it was Bill Cowher's
Wow.
last
Okay,
game.
I did not know that. That
Um, no, it was like his third. Okay, it wasn't his last game, but Bill
no, but
Cowher
I,
was
I didn't
great.
know that was that Super Bowl. I didn't even realize that was that year.
Yeah, it
That's
was.
I have a sleeper team, and I hate it.
Who?
Uh, the Jets.
Yeah, I forgot about Aaron Rodgers.
I
He
did
should
too.
retire.
He should. But
um,
yeah, I like that Steelers pick. I mean, I'm not gonna pick my own team because we got way too many issues. But maybe in a
okay,
couple
okay,
years, I can dream.
okay.
We've been
The
dominant for so
reason
long though.
the reason is we have good weapons. They have a good. I'm not gonna say we because
Hey, we
that's
is
just
fine.
me.
Everybody does we. Like it's
Okay, yeah, I'm up there in the office. We released Mitch Trubisky this week or today
good.
actually. Released our right tackle, Octre or whatever its name is, horrendous player. Um, as well as our punter. Three terrible guys. We saved some money, so we're gonna go out spend some money this offseason, hopefully. Um, yeah, this is just a bias pick. Their defense is good. Arthur Smith is coming back, gonna lead us to a Super Bowl.
Bring in
Um,
Ryan Tannehill.
oh my gosh, that could actually happen. Oh no,
It's the top rumor.
dude! If we're bringing in a veteran quarterback, I want it to be Kirk Cousins.
That's fair. Kirk is. I love Kirk.
Yeah.
Kirk's great.
Um,
Okay, let's do our NFC. All right,
NFC, yes,
NFC.
NFC.
Lions.
Yeah, Lions are a good pick.
Lions. Shoot. No one from the South.
I have.
I mean, like a sleeper, I might go Bucks, but that's if Baker comes back. Like
Ooh.
sleeper, if Baker comes back and they do a great draft,
But
because
they're
I mean,
old.
yeah, they are old. That's why I was anti the South in general.
Um,
North. Let's see. Ooh, okay. Bears as a low key, like another sleeper, but they aren't my top three. Um, okay,
Bears
I got
have
two.
some nice corners.
They do. They got a nice team. If they bring in Caleb and they bring in another wide receiver or something, that could be, yeah. So I'm gonna go Lions Packers as my top two. Dude, that's rough for third.
I have my top three.
I guess I'll put Niners. Like that's a rough group. I know we said stuff about the Niners, but like I don't know. I don't feel like the Eagles are going to get back. I don't think Dallas has it.
Dallas, it's their year.
It
For
has
sure.
it's 3 years their year.
They're due.
They're due. They've always been due. They've been due just as long as the Niners have.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say Lions, Packers, and Niners for now.
Packers?
Yeah, Lions, Niners, Packers for now.
All right. Well, you basically just said mine. Three. Those were legit my three.
Hey, it's a good 3.
Packers are a really talented team.
They are.
They struggled midway through the season, but I think they'll figure their way throughout the season, next season. But a sleeper for me is the Falcons.
Falcons. Oh, see, I forgot, dude.
Bring in a decent. I'm just talking about a
Bring in Kirk
halfway
Cousins.
decent
Bring in
offense or
You
quarterback.
I'm calling for Kirk Cousins if I'm them.
I'm calling for a rookie. Their team
Rookie,
is so
really?
young. Yes,
Who,
I'm
though?
Jaden Daniels.
I don't think he falls.
100%. Trade up. I would give.
I don't think you can. I don't think any of the top 3 move.
But is he a top 3 worthy quarterback?
Top 3 pick worthy? Probably not.
Yeah.
The quarterback outranks everything. So I feel like that's the cake right there. Just the icing on the cake. Just you got to go quarterback. And with the top 3 teams, only team I don't see potentially taking it's the Bears. So if a team trades up to 1, like let's say the Commanders just don't want to lose the top quarterback, they'll trade up to 1. Bears will trade back, take Marv, and then I can see Jaden falling. But that's like the case scenario that I could see it.
Okay, the Falcons have pick number 8, I believe.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Haven't they had it like 3 years in a row?
Yeah, they've been
That's
the
so
8th best. Okay, but if we look at it, Bears, they don't really need a quarterback. They'll probably take Caleb Williams. Let's just say they take Caleb Williams. Commanders take quarterback, which is either Drake May or wide receiver. And the Patriots either take Drake May or Marvin Harrison. Those are the top 3 guys. Cardinals don't need a quarterback.
No, yeah,
Chargers,
they'll Marvin.
Chargers don't need a quarterback. Giants don't need a quarterback.
Arguably need a quarterback.
Okay, they do,
and
but
keep in mind, there has been a lot of rumors about teams trading up right now. Like, what are the teams I've seen? Like the Broncos, I think were a team I saw. The Vikings, like a bunch of rumors about teams trading up to like top 3 or top 5.
Yeah, 11 through 14 is a QB
needy spot.
But the Falcons are number 8, and I could totally see Jaden Daniels falling out of the top 5 if no one trades.
JJ McCarthy? No, I'm just kidding. He's not good enough for top 10. But that'd be that feels like
I don't know. His draft stock has
skyrocketed.
Yes.
I feel like he kind of fits the tree, the McVay tree.
Yeah, and hey, we are both very high on.
I sold you on him.
Yes, you did. Hey, if this is a great moment.
I'll go down with him. I'll go down the ship with him right now. I'm going down with this take on him.
Hey, if you want to listen to our full QB take, listen to our first podcast episode. Yeah. Had a little opportunity to shout out our first episode there. But yeah. Okay, who are your 2 teams coming out of the AFC and NFC? Like final picks.
Final pick?
Yeah.
I just like it. Packers and Texans. I just like it. That's what I wanted this year, and that's what I want next time. If it's not my own team, that's what I want to see.
Fair. I mean, those are two crazy, ridiculous teams that barely made it into the
They got money
playoffs
this
this
year,
year.
though. They got money. They got good draft picks. Like they're primed and ready. I think.
They are. They are. But you got to beat the Chiefs and 49ers, which is very difficult, especially beating the Chiefs.
Fair.
Um, but I am going with the Chargers because I have a Justin Herbert jersey and I want to wear it during the Super Bowl if it's not my team. And I have the Lions. Let the Cinderella story continue.
I like it.
This is preseason, so
Yes, this is pre everything. So this is due to change.
literally, this is like the little dead period. So much could change.
I'm
But
excited.
yeah,
I'm excited for what can change. I want to see. I
yeah,
want to see
I'm
what's in
excited
the.
for this offseason.
I think our top three will change by the time the season starts for sure.
Yeah, 100%. We'll look back and look at this. You want to do okay. This is crazy. Just not all the awards, but MVP right now.
Just MVP.
Just
My
MVP
pick.
because yeah, you're
Okay, I got it narrowed down to two people. It's just due to health. I think Burrow, and I think okay, and I think Stroud could also. I think those are my two guys right now. Those are my two guys that I've been rocking with lately, though. So I think one of them could win it.
yeah. Stroud was playing like an MVP this year.
He was for a while at least. Who's your two, or who's your one? At least one.
Um, I rode with the Chargers this year, and I
Fair.
was so high on the Chargers.
I was too.
But I'm gonna continue this another year because they disappointed me this year. So fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. But I'm going with Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert is very talented, incredible quarterback. Just an overall great quarterback.
I like that take. I do like him for MVP. I feel like
He
it's an
gets
AFC quarterback. I think it will
yeah.
be an AFC quarterback.
It's gonna be a quarterback no matter what.
Well, yeah, it's a quarterback award at this point. Like I hate that it is because there's guys that have deserved it in the past, but it's a quarterback award now.
Yeah, and in my pick two is Patrick Mahomes. He hasn't won it in 2 years. So wait, he hasn't. He won it last year, didn't he?
Oh, maybe. Shoot,
Wait,
you're asking me on an off moment.
hold up.
He might have.
Wait.
Yes, he
Yeah,
did.
he did.
He did. That was the second one.
Yeah, give it back to Mahomes.
You.
Yeah.
That's
I
gross.
mean, it's disgusting. But he is the greatest quarterback. Okay, one thing we didn't talk about is how does this affect Patrick Mahomes' legacy?
He's two all time. He is two all time. He has
Number
passed
two,
everybody but Brady, and he will take him. He even said it. It's going to take him a while to pass Brady. He's not there yet.
because he didn't beat Brady.
He didn't beat Brady. He's also he took him 5 seasons to win 3. It took Brady 4. So there's that.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Um,
would put him.
it's tough. Him and Montana and Manning. It's like a 3-way like split. It's rock paper scissors, however you want it. It's tough. He's definitely earned top 3.
Yeah, and people will be like, "Oh, that's recency bias." Blah blah blah. No,
No
it's
one's
not.
done this at 28 besides Brady.
Yeah, Mahomes, his talent is the greatest we've ever seen at the QB
Yes,
position. I am a Tom Brady supporter through and through, but
I'm biased Tom Brady supporter through and through, of course, but
his but Mahomes is just talent is incredible. It's incredible, and I think we'll see more quarterbacks like that in
I
the
hope
future
so.
because,
I'm excited for it. I think he's paving a way, and I want to
yeah,
see it.
he definitely is.
I think him
Where
and
you're
Lamar
seeing,
are kind of paving a way as well. But
yeah, where you see the quarterback, he's a pocket passer, but he's also a run threat. Back in early 2000s, you really didn't see much of that.
I think the only guy you really saw. No, I guess there was a couple guys in the early 2000s that you saw do it.
Ben,
Not as much, but they weren't as dominant as these guys are. The system kind of the NFL fits them now more than it did back then, though.
yeah,
You saw a quarterback running back then. Shoot, they were getting decked, like just full contact. Now you're going to see a little more leniency with the quarterback running. So I feel like the league has benefited them a little bit more. Like there's a old clip from Brady running down the sideline when he had the ball, and he just got fully decked out. Helmet came off and everything. He gets right back up. He gets back, starts playing. I don't think you'd see that now. I think you'd see a flag on the play, but I don't think you'd see that now.
yeah. Talking about Patrick Mahomes. He's top 5 for sure now. There's no
Top
argument
three.
against it for sure. Top 5, top 3. I can totally understand the argument at top 3. But he's just so good. He's just so good. I hate seeing him win every year, but he's just that guy. And hey, Tony Romo loves him. I've never seen a guy
Tony used
love
to
a
be so
guy.
good. Collinsworth is so much worse though about it, but Tony used to be really good.
Yeah. Here's a guy. Yeah. But yeah. You have anything else to say about the Super
I
Bowl?
think we've kind of wrapped it all up.
All right. Well, thank you for getting this far. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Dropback Podcast. And we'll be talking about the off season a lot because the off season is coming up. But yeah. Any last words, Zane?
Um, I think just hope y'all tune in next week. As always, thank you.
Yes. All right. And see ya.
See ya.